Stop fooling yourself. It's not the world that breaks you, it's your mind that gives up first. It's not the problems that destroy you, but the way you react to them. You can be physically strong, but if a simple criticism disarms you, or if the fear of failure paralyzes you, then you're not strong. You just seem strong. Life is not going to stop to wait for you or soften its blows. Every day will put you in front of challenges that you can't control. And that's where it's revealed who has an unbreakable character and who just pretends to have it. Stoicism teaches that true strength is born when you stop being a slave to your emotions. It's not about becoming cold or repressing what you feel, but about training yourself so that pain, fear, and adversity don't make decisions for you. The mind is like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, it weakens. If you train it in difficulty, it becomes unstoppable. That's the difference between sinking under life's blows or using them as steps to rise higher. This video is not for those who are looking for pretty phrases or for those who want compassion. It's for those who are tired of feeling fragile, for those who want to regain control of themselves and face the world with serenity, discipline, and courage. Here you will find 9 practical lessons inspired by Stoicism, not complicated theories or empty words, but principles that you can apply today to toughen your mind and stop giving ground to adversity. If you're willing to stop justifying your weakness, then it's time to start forging a mental fortress that no one can tear down. 1. Break the chains of expectations. Most people do not fail because they lack talent or opportunities. They fail because they live trapped in expectations, those imposed by others and those they invent themselves. They believe that life should treat them in a certain way, that the world should be fairer, that friends should support them without ever failing, that effort should bring quick results. But life does not follow these rules. It never has, and it never will. Rigid expectations are like invisible chains. The more you cling to them, the more you get frustrated when reality does not meet them, and the more you suffer over things you cannot control. Stoicism is brutally clear on this point. The pain we feel does not come from the facts, but from the story we tell ourselves about them. Epictetus said that it is not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Expectation is that anticipated opinion that dictates how things should be, and when reality does not obey, we react with anger, sadness, or disappointment. Anyone who wants to develop mental strength must break these chains, must learn to accept the world as it is, not as they would like it to be. Think about how many times you have been hurt because someone did not value you as you expected, because a plan did not go perfectly, or because a goal was not met in the time you wanted. That wound was not caused by the fact itself, but by your unmet expectation. When you let go of expectation, the blow no longer hurts the same, because you stop fighting against the inevitable. Accepting is not giving up. Accepting is recognizing reality in order to act from it with clarity and strength. Breaking expectations does not mean giving up dreams or standards. It means to stop demanding the world to fit your script. It means moving forward with clear goals, but flexible to the outcome, because you know that the only thing under your control are your actions, not the outcome. This mindset gives you a huge advantage. While others get frustrated because things do not go as they should, you remain calm and focused on what you can do now. Imagine you are training for a competition, and on the day of the event, it pours rain. Most complain, it shouldn't rain just today. You, on the other hand, adjust, because you do not expect the weather to adapt to you. That is the freedom that letting go of expectations gives you, the power to act calmly regardless of the scenario. This is how you start to forge an unbreakable mind, because disappointment loses its hold on you. The practical advice is simple but powerful. Every time you notice that you suffer for something, ask yourself what unmet expectation is feeding that suffering. Make it a habit. Recognize it and let it go. Repeat to yourself, I do not control the facts, I control my response. This not only reduces unnecessary suffering, but also allows you to react more intelligently to real challenges. Mental strength begins when you accept that the world owes you nothing and that people will act as they choose, not as you would like. By letting go of this illusory burden, you free yourself to focus on what you can really improve: your decisions, your discipline, your character. Broken expectations will not sink you if you understand that they were never promises. They were only illusions that you decided to let go. That is the first step to toughen the mind. Break the chains that you created yourself. 2. Leave behind the past that limits you. The past is like a shadow. No matter how much you progress, it always seems to follow you. But it's not the shadow that stops you, but your habit of looking back while trying to move forward. Many people don't fail due to lack of opportunities, but because they carry too much emotional baggage, old guilt, resentments, mistakes that they repeat in their head over and over again. And even though the past can't physically touch you, it has the ability to paralyze your present if you give it power over you. Stoicism teaches that the most valuable time is the one you have now, not the one that is gone. Marcus Aurelius wrote that no one can go back to the past, so spending energy on it is as absurd as trying to catch smoke with your hands. However, we remain tied to painful memories because we believe that by reliving them, we will find justice or reparation, when in reality, we only reopen wounds. True mental strength arises when you allow yourself to let go of what you can no longer change, when you decide that your life is not going to be defined by previous chapters. Think about how many times you have justified your lack of progress with phrases like, "I am this way because of what happened to me," or "if I hadn't made that mistake." Every time you do, you are handing over the steering wheel of your life to a version of you that no longer exists. The adversity you experienced may have marked you, but it has no right to govern what you do today. It only continues to influence as long as you give it permission. Leaving the past behind does not mean forgetting it or pretending it never happened. It means recognizing that it has already served its purpose to show you what you needed to learn. Each wound can be a reminder of your resilience, but it should not become a chain. If every time you think of a past mistake, you feel like you're sinking, then you didn't learn anything from that experience. You just became a prisoner of it. A Stoic exercise you can practice from today is to write down what still binds you. Names, memories, mistakes, even old dreams that no longer make sense. Read them aloud and then ask yourself, can I change any of this now? If the answer is no, then repeat to yourself, it has fulfilled its role, now I let it go. This small symbolic act can release a huge mental burden because it transforms your relationship with what no longer exists. The past has the power that you grant it. If you use it as an excuse, it holds you back. If you use it as a teacher, it strengthens you. The difference lies in how you choose to look at it. Every time the memory of a mistake haunts you, remind yourself, what matters is not what happened, but what I decide to do now. That phrase is an anchor that brings you back to the present, which is the only ground where you have control. An unbreakable mind is not defined by the blows it received, but by the ability to keep walking without looking back with resentment. Let go of what you can no longer change and move forward lighter, because only then can you build a future that is not a copy of your yesterday. 3. Train your mind to withstand everything. Most people focus on training the body, but neglect the true battlefield, the mind. The body gets tired, it bends with age, but a strong mind can hold you up even when the body no longer responds. What defeats people is not physical exhaustion, but mental surrender. Before someone gives up a dream, their mind already did it a long time ago. And that's where a Stoic makes a difference. While others seek comfort, the Stoic trains in discomfort to become imperturbable. The mind, like muscles, strengthens with constant effort. If you always run away from pain, from the cold, from awkward silence, or from difficult emotions, you will never develop the necessary resilience to withstand what life will inevitably throw at you. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayals, wars, plagues, and the loss of children, but his serenity remained because he trained his mind not to break in the face of pain. That is the level of strength we aspire to resist, not because the world is kind, but because you prepared yourself for the onslaught. Start with something basic. Discomfort your mind on purpose. Get up earlier than you would like. Finish what you started even if you don't feel like it. Keep silent when you would like to argue. Cool your body with cold showers to remind you that not everything must be pleasant. Each small challenge is one more brick in the walls of your inner fortress. It's not about becoming insensitive, but about learning that discomfort doesn't control you. You should also train your mind to tolerate uncertainty. Many people sink not because of what happens, but because of the anxiety of not knowing what will happen. That's where the Stoic practice of detachment from the outcome becomes your greatest weapon. Do what is under your control and accept what does not depend on you. This habit prevents your mind from wearing out fighting against ghosts. A strong mind also does not let itself be manipulated by the emotions of the moment. When anger, fear, or sadness try to drag you down, stop and observe them as if they were clouds passing in front of a vast sky. They are not you, they are just states that will come and go. The ability to recognize this prevents you from acting impulsively and keeps you firm when everything around you seems to crumble. Daily practice. Each day choose something small that you would normally avoid for comfort and do it. It could be walking instead of taking transport, resisting the urge to look at the phone in every silence, or staying 5 more minutes working when your mind looks for excuses to stop. These simple acts, repeated consistently, train your mental discipline and prepare you for difficult times. A trained mind is not one that never feels fear or sadness, but one that recognizes them without obeying them. That is the true shield against external storms. If you become the type of person who remains calm when others crumble, not because everything is fine, but because you trained yourself to withstand everything, then you will have built a fortress that no circumstance can tear down. 4. Do the right thing without seeking witnesses. Most people behave well only when someone is watching them. They strive to show discipline if they know they will receive praise. They behave with integrity as long as they fear being caught doing the opposite. But that's not real strength, that's acting out of convenience. An unshakable character does not depend on the gaze of others. It is forged in the quiet moments when there are no applause, no cameras, no one to reward you for choosing the right thing. Stoicism teaches that the only judge that should matter to you is your own conscience. Seneca wrote that the greatest thing is to do well even if no one knows it. Most people seek recognition because they still need external validation to feel valuable. But whoever governs himself does not act to please. He acts because he knows that every decision shapes his character. And that character, not external approval, is what defines your true value. Think about the strength it takes to tell the truth even if it's uncomfortable, to keep your word even if no one notices, to fulfill your duty even if someone else takes the credit. That's inner power. When you do the right thing in silence, you become someone trustworthy, solid, hard to corrupt. And even if others don't see it right away, you know that you didn't betray your principles, and that certainty gives a peace that no one can take away from you. The problem with living to be seen is that it makes you a prisoner of other people's expectations. You get tired trying to maintain a flawless image, and sooner or later you crumble. On the other hand, someone who acts out of conviction does not need to maintain masks. He can walk calmly, knowing that his actions are consistent even when there are no spectators. That consistency is a form of freedom, and freedom is a pillar of mental strength. Practicing this principle in everyday life is simpler than it seems, but it requires discipline. Make the effort to be punctual, even if no one values it, to fulfill your commitments, even if the reward is invisible, to say no to what betrays your values, even if no one else protests. Start with small gestures. Return what doesn't belong to you. Admit mistakes without looking for excuses. Don't speak ill of others, even if others do. Every silent action of integrity is a brick that reinforces the wall of your mind. The real power is not in being admired, but in living without fear of being discovered, because you have nothing to hide. When you act with righteousness, even in the invisible, you gain an inner confidence that neither criticism nor slander can break. That is the kind of strength that distinguishes those who pretend to be firm from those who really are. Do the right thing even if there is no applause, even if they call you naive, even if they label you as exaggerated. Because when the world tries to tempt you or break you down, your mind will remember that you did not act for applause, but for principles. And a life guided by principles is a life impossible to break. 5. Think before you react. Most people get lost in the first impulse. A hurtful comment, a look of contempt, a bad day at work, and they immediately respond with anger, hasty words, or decisions they later regret. It's not the situation that destroys mental peace, but the inability to stop before reacting. In a world where everything pushes for speed and noise, true strength lies in the pause, the space between what happens and the response you choose to give. Epictetus said that we cannot control what others do, but we can control how we respond. Whoever does not develop this self-control becomes a slave to anyone who knows how to provoke them. It is enough for someone to press their anger or fear button for them to lose control. That's why Stoicism insists on training the mind to master impulses. Every unconscious reaction robs you of energy and, worse still, makes you act against your own values. Imagine someone throws a lit spark at you. It's not dangerous until you give it fuel. The same happens with offenses or problems. They don't destroy you for what they are, but for the fire you add with your reaction. The person who thinks before reacting becomes like water. It receives the impact, but does not feed it. This mastery is not weakness, it is power in its purest form. To train yourself in this, start with something as simple as breathing before responding. It may sound trivial, but that second of air is a shield that allows you to observe what you feel before it drags you away. Ask yourself, is my response going to solve anything or just make the situation worse? This short question, asked in time, can save you from unnecessary conflicts, absurd arguments, and impulsive decisions that leave scars. Another useful practice is to imagine yourself observing the situation from the outside as if you were a third party. This small change in perspective cools anger and awakens reasoning. A Stoic does not allow a momentary emotion to decide his fate. He ensures that his action is deliberate, not the product of the heat of the moment. Mental strength is not in not feeling emotions, but in not being dragged by them. Fear, anger, or sadness are inevitable, but they don't have to dictate your behavior. Every time you manage to stop an impulsive reaction, you strengthen the invisible muscle of will, the one that allows you to stand firm when others break. In everyday life, this can mean staying silent in the face of provocation, postponing a message you wanted to send with anger, or choosing not to immediately respond to an unfair criticism. These small acts of control, repeated day after day, make you stronger than any external provocation. An unbreakable mind is not one that never gets angry, but one that can get angry without losing composure. When you learn to think before reacting, you discover that many battles are won by not fighting them. This is the true triumph of self-control, defeating chaos without wasting unnecessary energy. 6. Turn adversity into your ally. Every person, sooner or later, encounters situations that seem impossible to overcome. The loss of a loved one, an unexpected betrayal, failure in a project for which you gave your all. The usual response is to question why the world seems to be against you, to fall into complaint, or to surrender to pain. But that's where true strength is measured. It's not about avoiding suffering, but about transforming it into a fuel that drives your growth. Stoicism holds that obstacles are not enemies, they are part of the path. Marcus Aurelius wrote that what stands in the way becomes the way. This means that every problem, however unbearable it may seem, is an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to resist, adapt, and become wiser. Adversity does not come to destroy you, it comes to reveal what you are made of. The most common mistake is to think that life should be fair or easy. That expectation only causes frustration and weakens character. The world does not promise comfort or balance, but it always offers lessons. When you face pain with the question, "Why me?" you become a victim. When you ask, "What can I learn from this?" you become a learner. That is the mindset that transforms adversity into an implacable but fair teacher. Think about steel. It is forged with fire and blows, not with caresses. The same happens with character. Each blow of life is an opportunity to mold yourself stronger, more disciplined, more serene. Whoever flees from challenges ends up fragile because they never developed resistance. On the other hand, those who face them without victimhood accumulate scars that do not weaken them, they make them firmer. An essential practice to apply this lesson is to change the internal language. Instead of saying, "This ruined me," repeat, "This trained me." At first it seems forced, but over time your mind stops seeing difficulties as punishments and starts seeing them as tests to overcome. This simple change of focus reduces useless suffering and gives you clarity to act. It is also crucial to remember that not all pain is a sign that something is wrong. Often it is just the price of progress. The body hurts after a good workout, but that pain announces growth. The mind hurts when it faces uncomfortable truths, but that discomfort indicates maturity. If you avoid everything that bothers you, you stay weak. Another practical habit is to analyze each crisis with coldness. Write down what happened, what you can control, and what you cannot. Then decide to act only on what depends on you. This strategy prevents you from consuming yourself in useless complaints and directs your energy towards real solutions. The power to turn adversity into an ally does not lie in loving suffering, but in understanding that each obstacle brings with it an opportunity to strengthen yourself. The difference between someone who breaks and someone who rises is in the attitude with which they face difficulty. When pain strikes, keep your head high and remember, you didn't come to live a life without problems. You came to become stronger by facing them. Each wound can be a medal if you choose to learn from it. This is the path of those who do not bend. They do not expect the world to change. They change in the face of the world and turn it into their own training field. 7. Take absolute control of your time. Time is the most valuable resource you have, but also the most wasted. It slips away unnoticed in useless conversations, in distractions that contribute nothing, in worries that never materialize. What makes most people weak is not a lack of talent or opportunities, but the inability to manage their time as if it really mattered. Every minute you give to something worthless is a piece of life you will never get back. The Stoics understood that time is not spent, it is given. Seneca warned that we are not aware of how short life is because we live as if it were endless. Each day that goes by is a coin that never returns, so wasting it on trivialities is one of the greatest acts of self-destruction. A strong character is built with discipline, and discipline begins with knowing what you dedicate your hours to. The problem is not the clock, but the excuses we give it. "I don't have time" usually means I don't know how to prioritize, or I prefer to distract myself rather than face what's important. Whoever does not have control over their schedule cannot have control over their mind, because they live reacting to what the world imposes on them. On the other hand, whoever consciously decides what deserves space in their day begins to regain power over their life. Taking absolute control of time requires learning to say no. Say no to commitments that do not add up, to conversations that only drain energy, to social networks that steal hours disguised as minutes. Each no to the useless is a yes to your growth. It's not about becoming inflexible, but about recognizing that every hour invested in what doesn't matter is an hour you take away from what does matter. A Stoic practice that you can apply from today is to start the day by choosing 3 non-negotiable priorities and committing to fulfilling them before distracting yourself with anything else. This habit forces you to live with intention and protects you from getting caught up in purposeless activities. Another key is to stop seeing rest as a waste of time. Bland rest is part of control. It serves to recharge energy and maintain mental clarity. What weakens is not resting, but wasting time in aimless leisure, letting yourself be emptied by endless distractions that neither nourish nor renew you. Mental strength flourishes in those who respect their time because they learn to focus and resist the temptations that seek to scatter them. When your schedule reflects your values, each day becomes a statement of who you are and what you prioritize. Don't blame fate or lack of opportunities. Your life is made of the way you use the hours granted to you. Whoever does not protect their time ends up living according to the priorities of others. Reclaiming it does not require magic, just decision. Decide that your time is yours and use it to build yourself, not to wear yourself out. When you learn to control your time, you will stop feeling that life drags you along. Instead of reacting to the days, you will start to direct them. That quiet control over your hours is one of the clearest signs of an unbreakable mind. 8. Stop complaining and look for solutions. Complaint is the language of powerlessness. It's the signal of a mind that feels victimized by the world and has given up its power to act. Nothing weakens character more than the habit of blaming fate, the government, the family, the weather, everything but oneself. Complaining doesn't solve, doesn't change anything, doesn't move a single obstacle from the path. It only wastes energy and multiplies the feeling that everything is lost. Stoicism is clear. Circumstances are not the problem is how you face them. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if something is within your control, act. If it's not, accept and move on. Complaining doesn't fit into either of those 2 categories because it's not action nor acceptance, it's stagnation. Every minute you use to complain is a minute you could dedicate to looking for alternatives. Complaining also has a silent cost. It feeds the victim mentality. The more you complain, the more you cede power over your life to external factors. You convince yourself that you can't do anything, and you become a spectator of your own story. That's the root of mental weakness, living as if everything depended on what others do or what chance decides. Whoever decides to stop complaining regains control over their energy and begins to use it productively. Instead of saying, "This is unfair," they ask, "What can I do with what I have in front of me?" That simple question changes the direction of your thoughts. It takes them out of frustration and focuses them on possibilities. Practicing this principle requires daily attention. Every time you notice that you're going to complain, stop and ask yourself, is this complaint going to change anything? If the answer is no, replace it with a plan, even if it's small, a step, a decision, a concrete action. It could be studying a skill, asking for help, reorganizing your priorities, or simply accepting what cannot be changed. That change of habit slowly transforms your mentality. Another important aspect is to surround yourself with people who also avoid empty complaining. The environment influences more than we think. If everyone around you complains, it's easy to fall into the same. Look for conversations that revolve around solutions, not laments. That atmosphere will remind you that the focus should be on moving forward, not sinking together. To stop complaining doesn't mean to ignore problems or pretend everything is fine. It means recognizing that your voice has more value when it proposes than when it laments. It means choosing the role of protagonist instead of victim. An unbreakable mind doesn't waste time shouting at fate. It acts even in silence because it knows that complaining doesn't lighten the load nor opens paths. Every time you choose the active silence of looking for solutions instead of complaining, you will be hardening your character and reinforcing your control over life. Strength is not demonstrated with words of protest, but with decisions that transform reality. Whoever stops complaining, stops wasting their energy, and directs it towards the only place where it can make a difference, their own actions. 9. True greatness lies in consistency. The world admires great achievements, but it seldom celebrates the silent effort that makes them possible. Many believe that greatness arises from a moment of inspiration or a stroke of luck, but in reality, it is born from habits repeated day after day, even when there is no motivation, even when no one applauds. What separates those who achieve what they set out to do from those who remain in promises is consistency, not talent or circumstances. Stoicism teaches that daily discipline is more powerful than occasional impulses. Seneca said that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. That preparation does not appear out of nowhere. It is built on small acts that seem insignificant but added up create extraordinary results. Greatness is not an event, it is a consequence. The common mistake is to wait to feel motivated to act. Motivation is volatile. It appears when everything feels easy and disappears just when you need it most. Depending on it is like trying to light a fire with rain sparks. It does not last long enough to maintain the heat. What keeps the flame of progress alive is consistency, doing what is necessary even if you don't feel like it, even if you're tired, even if it seems like there are no immediate advances. Think of the water that falls on the rock. It does not break it because of its strength, but because of its persistence. Each drop seems useless until, over time, it transforms the stone. This is how consistency acts on character and goals. It does not produce instant results, but it shapes everything in its path. Whoever understands this stops obsessing over quick results and starts valuing the process. A practice that can change your life is to set small daily goals and meet them without excuses. It's not about promising yourself big transformations overnight, but about gaining steady ground. If you decide to read 20 pages every night, exercise for 30 minutes at dawn, or write an idea every day, it will seem like little. But after months, you will notice that these actions have accumulated immense progress. Consistency also involves resisting the temptation to quit when you don't see immediate results. Many give up just before discipline pays off because they confuse slowness with failure. This is where Stoic thinking comes in, accepting that valuable changes require time and that sustained effort is an investment, not a loss. Another key point is learning to forgive yourself for stumbles without abandoning the path. Consistency does not mean perfection. It means getting back on track every time you deviate. A mistake does not destroy your progress if you decide to resume the pace. An unbreakable mind is not formed on easy days, but on those when you continue, despite fatigue and lack of spirit. True greatness is not explosive or immediate. It is silent, patient, and firm. Whoever cultivates consistency develops an inner strength that does not need demonstrations. It speaks through the results it accumulates over time. Greatness is not measured by the dreams you have, but by your ability to remain consistent on the path, regardless of how slow the progress is. That is the clearest sign of a will that does not break. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. If you watched the whole thing, comment "I am Stoic" as our secret signal to know that you're a true student of Stoicism. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. See you in the next video, and remember, keep cultivating your Stoic mind.